I find myself distracting myself a lot lately, and I've been recovering a little bit from that today or yesterday and today. And I noticed, so I went through this phase of like feeling super depressed and having zero physical, mental, and any, like, no energy, just zero energy. Like, you'd think there's something wrong with me. And I was actually kind of worried, like, is this physical? Is this like a health thing? Do I have to go see someone or whatever? And I mean, there's an aspect of some, I'm working on my health. But I realized for a few days how depressed and how low I felt, and how, like, just zero capacity for anything, zero capacity to uh, exert will and, like, discipline and any kind of, like, routine and whatever, because I overall, like, I completely burnt out because I was applying so much pressure on myself to perform, to show up on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, to just, like, get out of where I am. Like, I realized how much in my head I was, and I still am. I haven't figured this out, but I'm doing a lot better than I was 2 days ago. Like, 2 days ago was rough. I realized after the fact that I've been so uncomfortable and so, like, it's like I was, and it's so unconscious. Like, I didn't realize this while I was doing it. But my whole, like, maybe my whole life, but especially, like, lately, I've been always fixed on the future and, like, getting out of here, of this place, of this scenario, of this circumstance, of who I am, and how it's, like, always striving to do better and go forward and start making money and be healthier and feel better and reap the rewards of all this, like, of all this discipline and consistency and showing up for myself and loving myself and all this shit. And it's like, ironically, I was putting so much pressure on myself that I was like, I put all this weight on my shoulders that I'm breaking my back, which is actually kind of ironic. My upper back, shoulders, and neck just have been, like, wrecked and tight for quite a long time, a year or two. And so I think, like, I'm putting this pressure on myself to perform and to show up, and it's like, yeah, I think it's coming from a place of love, but it's really not. It's coming from a place of, I think it's more akin to fear. I'm forcing myself and pushing myself to show up and whatever, because like, if I don't, my life's gonna suck, and I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna be stuck here, and I don't want that. So I'm looking forward, and I gotta, like, do this thing, and, like, all this pressure and all this whatever. So I've been really unknowingly super rough on myself. And now I realize that more than before. I feel, oh my God, it's like every week, like every week I get a really profound, like, I consistently get I learn something new. Often I relearn something I already knew, but from a new perspective, maybe, so that I can hopefully not forget it this time as easily. But yeah, I've been learning it's like a new challenge every week. So I burnt out, and I've recorded this video before, so I don't even remember what I already said in this video, as opposed to the one I already deleted. But yeah, I burnt out because of all this pressure I was putting on myself, and I realized this is something I need to figure out and learn through time, through trial and effort maybe, but is instead of coming from a place of fear and forcing and controlling and I need to like do this and I need to show up for myself and whatever, from a place of like, yeah, what's the word? Discipline. Instead of that, I could actually come from a place of love and acceptance. First of all, accepting where I'm at and realizing, I'm just realizing like, I have these practices in place, like meditation and writing down like 5 things I'm grateful for every morning and night. And I could continue to do these practices, but not do it from a place of like genuine awareness. And it, you know, from the outside maybe looking in, it's like I'm meditating, I'm writing down what I'm grateful for, I'm showing up every day and I'm doing this thing that is very beneficial potentially. But meanwhile, over time, it's like it becomes a routine and I'm not actually doing it. I'm just, you know, I'm clocking in, but I'm not doing any work, right? Does that make sense? Like, I feel like I'm writing down what I'm grateful for, but I'm not feeling it. And I'm not really all that grateful. I'm not like actually present and aware in what I'm doing. I'm just like writing it down to get it over with, you know? And so these practices are having very little positive effect, because I'm not reaping any benefits of getting of what they're supposed to be doing. I'm not doing the thing, like, you know. So then, you know, I'm not feeling better, I'm not getting better, I'm just doing this thing over and over again every day. And I'm wondering, like, why am I not doing better? Why am I struggling? Why is my mood so down? Why do I have no energy? Why am I so irritable? Why do I hate where I am? Why is nothing flowing, nothing changing? And it's like, I guess I'm realizing it's like it's quite simple. It's because of the energy that I'm running off of, is one way of putting it. I'm running off of fear and like just forcing it, you know, irrespective of how I feel and what, you know, or of anything. Just like, I gotta do it because I gotta do it, so I'm gonna do it. And then obviously that runs out of energy naturally because it's not sustainable. Meanwhile, I could come from a different place, from the energy of, I'll just say love, I think is accurate, and accepting where I am, not trying to force my way out of where I am, just accepting this for what it is, finding gratitude to the best of my ability for what I have and where I am and who I am and what, you know, everything, and genuinely feeling it, not doing it out of routine. Yeah, there is a habit and routine to build, to consistently do it, but to still show up and feel it, right? Instead of like, just doing it to do it because like the boss told me to, you know. It's like that's the same, it's the same energy of like, you know, yeah. So I think it's a very subtle, and I think you figure it out more and feel it more over time maybe, and you'll, you know, like I'm not there yet, but I'm learning to, it's like I guess becoming aware of what kind of energy I'm using. Am I running off this fear and forcing energy and trying to make things happen and because they need to happen? And it's essentially this like ungrounded masculine energy, just like force it and do it sort of thing, without consideration for anything, like completely disconnected, completely in the mind and completely disconnected from your body and even the world around you or anything. It's just very it's very computer, it's very like binary, like and it's very robotic, it's very inhumane. There's no empathy and feeling, and therefore there's no feeling and empathy for yourself. Like there's no awareness for yourself, of your body, how you feel. You just do it and push yourself, as opposed to, you know, the feeling of like being aware of the whole of yourself, whole, WHOLE, right? And being aware of like of just being present, right? Because you can meditate and you can sit there and you can be aware and listen to what's happening, but you're like not really present. At least like for me, I'm obviously speaking from experience, and my mind will wander a lot, and sometimes I'll remember and realize and bring it back, and so on, and you know, go over and over again. But there's this antsy feeling of like, I want to finish this, I'm doing it just to do it, I can't wait to get up, as opposed to, and that's like the ungrounded mind energy, masculine energy, as opposed to meditating and sitting there and being with yourself and aware and loving and just being like accepting of who you are and where you are and everything, that just this moment of how you're comfortable, or whatever you can find gratitude in, and just awareness in, and presence. Yeah, so I guess I've been in fight or flight, like I've been in survival mode for a while, and that's where like obviously I'm gonna fucking burn out and feel like shit and have no energy and just like not want to get out of bed in the morning. And I think my capacity for pushing myself and coming from a place of like being in the mind and like being hard on myself and just like do it to do it sort of thing, my capacity for that is just gone. So that's why it's like now all of a sudden I'm like drained for like 3 days, and I literally can't do anything except for distract and numb and sleep, just sleep and rest. And like I get up and I go do something, and it's like, oh, I need to do this thing or whatever. Oh, it just feels impossible, I can't do anything or whatever, you know. And then I don't know, it's just like a feeling of I guess it's like victim mentality and hopelessness, and like the world is on my shoulders, and like I need to do everything, and I just feel hopeless, and I just go to bed in the middle of the day because I just can't deal with it. Versus, and it's completely like self-fabricated, as opposed to, you know, well, I think I've switched back and forth so many times, maybe over explained, I don't know. But I think, yeah, it's just I'm trying to navigate. I'm trying to understand, like, because it's subtle. I think it's quite subtle when you don't know the difference. Maybe it gets a lot more obvious and easier over time. But like navigating this, let's just say right and left path, the unconscious versus the conscious, the forcing versus the just being and accepting and thriving and growing and blooming in that energy, as opposed to forcing it and pushing it and driving it home and doing it because you know you need to do it, you know. Because realistically, like, if you're in a place of where you're just genuinely just growing, expanding, loving yourself, loving life, loving experience, and just experiencing and just being present, and you're in flow, everything just seems to like fall into place to a certain extent, and you just feel the hunch when you need to do this thing. I shouldn't even say need. You feel the hunch of like, oh, I want to do this thing, so I'm just gonna go do it. Like sometimes, some days I'm just like in this flow. I'm just, you know, I enjoy, I'm cooking and I enjoy cooking and I'm eating and the food is amazing. And then I'm like, oh, I just feel like working out, so I'm gonna go work out. And I like genuinely enjoy it. And I'm playing music and enjoying it. And like I look outside and the day's fucking beautiful and I feel so much gratitude. And I go on a walk and I just feel so connected to everything, and everything's just like flowing. And it's like everything in that state, you don't have to force anything, and you still do all the stuff that you need to do. And if you don't do it like immediately, it still gets done at some point, because you just naturally like flow through all of it. If it actually genuinely needs to get done, it will get done. If it genuinely needs to get done. But if it's like this concept of the mind of like, oh, logically I need to do this thing, then I'm just like forcing it, and I'm just coming at it from a like yeah, whatever. I've been repeating myself, I think. So still learning. Okay. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and yeah, I don't know. I guess that's all. Peace.